What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 72 of Lyon Live here in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. Today we start on Lenglet's profile because he's going to have to play the first game today, and despite all his unhappiness, despite him kicking up a fuss, I need him to be at his best today. We still have teams interested. We're not that far now off the transfer window. I have the asking price set at 65 million, and I know a lot of people think that's just too high, but I feel like in terms of what this guy's contributed over the last 2 seasons for us, the fact he is of course French, he's a fan favourite, he's only 26 and he's left-footed with a good personality, I just feel like he's valued that highly to us, and I'm hoping that he'll kind of get over it in terms of his unhappiness. But yes, due to suspension to Wallace and Kanate of course being injured, he is going to be the man we rely on, and then Gnanon is going to come onto the bench for us. So a little bit of a shuffle around there. Kingsley Coman also injured for today's first game against Auxerre. I will say, if you missed last episode, we started things off, or rather ended things off, with a game against Brain, please help me here, against PSG. So if you didn't see that game, do go check it out. It had the goal of the series so far for me in it. Man, our team is really tired, aren't they? I really need to rest everyone for this upcoming game. The fixture congestion apparently has caught up with a lot of our players. We're going to have to, play a slightly rotated team, I think, for today's first game against Auxerre. They are third in the league. We are, of course, fourth. I noticed there that PSG drew. That's because they drew against us. I didn't even realise that we didn't continue forward to see the other results this game week. So Auxerre win. You can see they are 11 points ahead of us. They're only 1 point off PSG and Monaco. So that's not going to be an easy game to start today's episode against them in third. Granted, we do have a game in hand on them, so a win against them here, knowing that we have a game in our back pocket, you'd feel like we are within touching distance of them. If we lose this game, maybe panic a little bit. That would be slightly concerning. But yeah, hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. I don't know when this video is going up. Usually with these videos, I can tell what day stuff's happening, but I'm kind of at the point now of planning out and scheduling a load of videos. And yeah, whenever you're seeing this, I hope that you're having a fantastic day. The Women's World Cup is just starting at the moment. I'm not going to kind of pretend that I have a super ignited interest in women's football, but I'm going to be checking it out for sure. I'm curious, if you're going to be watching it, who do you think is going to win the Women's World Cup? I realise at the time of you watching this, the group stage is going to be very much underway. So you could probably get a pretty cheaty prediction in. But yeah, give me a prediction. Who's going to win the Women's World Cup? And for the one smart arse who's going to watch this video like a year later and leave the correct answer, don't. But yeah, this Auxerre game's not going to be easy. We're at home for it. I'm kind of tempted to play the five-man midfield system that we used against PSG. I feel like we were pretty unfortunate in the game, to be fair. That moment of brilliance by their left-back was the difference maker. Donnarumma is wanted by PSG. I mean, PSG mates, you have bought Rulli to play in goal. You don't need Donnarumma as well. Although if they sign Donnarumma, then maybe we could get Rulli. Maybe it could come full circle. Anyway, team for today's game. I put Trincao in. I don't think we're actually going to play Trincao. Coman is out injured. I think we'll go with Memphis Depay. Now, we tried Fekir as an inside forward last time out. It didn't really work out. So I'm going to move him into playmaker. Am I going to move him into playmaker, actually? I'm just concerned about our kicking up a fuss about lack of first-team football. You know what we'll do? I'm going to put Fekir onto the bench. Do I want to start Trincao? How has Trincao's form been? We've been giving him a few more opportunities as of late. He's done kind of meh. I kind of want to stick with him still. We could bring in Malcolm potentially. I'm tempted to not even have Fekir on the bench the way things have been going. In fact, we can just take Auger off. That's probably the better bet. Got plenty of options with the likes of Moisky and Gabels and Malcolm. I think we will start Maulida again today. I think he's got 2 goals in his last 2 games. So hopefully he can kick on from here and get, a few goals and a few more assists to add to his game. But yeah, he's been a bit of a difference maker so far for us, hasn't he? Anyway, Auxerre at home. We're favourites for this, but we need to show them a degree of respect, and we're going to do just that with our system that we're going to use for this game. Maulida, 2 goals in his last 2. Got an assist as well against PSG. Gabels and Moise Kean are going to be watching from the bench. You know, if we have a day where our attacking strike force really isn't at the races, the fortunate thing here at Lyon is we have just an insane amount of talent. We are so stacked in that department. But anyway, let's see how we get on. I'm looking through their team. There's a few players I recognise. Varela, I believe, is a Uruguayan who used to play... Okay, he's not the I thought he was going to be the Uruguayan who used to play for Manchester United. He's not. He looks distinctly average. That is not the Varela I thought it was going to be. They've got Mbia, our former man, and Kunku, who we sold to them for relatively cheap. I didn't notice if our loanee winger, I think Keita is his name. I hope that's right. If it's not, I feel bad. But we have a young winger who's been tearing it up for Auxerre, who's on loan at them. Keep an eye out for him, perhaps. Anyway, they're messing around with the ball at the back here. Can we win it? Can we force a mistake? That's what we're trying to do here. They're forced to go long. Of course, all eyes potentially going to be on Lenglet here, who did miss an interception there. But, yeah, he's unhappy, been kicking up a bit of a fuss, but we call upon him today and we need him to come good. Maulida, breaking clear, crosses it, deflected into the hands of the keeper. I can't help but feel like that can't be the highlight chance. Ball lumped clear, won by Eder Militao. Nice win. Now with Toussaint, lays it off to Trincao, who tries to go wide, falls to Tolisso. Element of fortune about the way the ball fell to him kindly, but make no mistake, that's a fantastic finish by him. Second goal of the season, playing his preferred position of centre mid, with Ndombele currently out for a couple of weeks with injury. He kind of comes in as the natural successor to be that more mobile box-to-box midfielder for us, and he's following in his rival's footsteps for that position in Ndombele by grabbing a goal for us. We've had a lot of goals coming from the midfield this year. I'm hoping that's something that we're not going to be overly reliant on, because it's not something that we can expect to happen game in and game out, but I don't know. Maulida, number 21, recently added to the French national team, got his first ever cap. I'm optimistic that he can come good for us, alongside Gabels and Keane as well. Trincao, not Trincao at all. Militao bringing the ball forward. There's too many towels in our team. And Kunku brings forward the ball here. Fred through Arias. Poor defending, fantastic finish. And it's Christopher Nkunku, our former player, with the assist. Junior Arias just finds a gap between our two centre-backs and just runs and runs and runs. Nice little finish for him. I'm not familiar with Arias. Is he good? He's okay. How many goals has he got this year? He's got 4 in 13. He's not exactly been setting the world alight. You can see, it doesn't seem like Auxerre spent a great deal of money. Varela, their left-back, I think they bought him for less than £100,000. Arias, who's starting up top today, they bought him for even less. In fact, that's not true at all, but less than £500,000 for him. So we should really be expecting to beat them. And well, what can Maulida do here? He breaks through, past his man. Can he finish it? No, he can't, but it's a really good run by the striker. We've been completely on top in this game, and bar getting caught out once on the break, I feel like we've been the better team here. Markovic with it. Big ball forward. Lovely ball. Maulida hits it. Tight angle. Was he offside? I think he was offside. Wouldn't have mattered if it across the line, but you can see how close it was there. A matter of inches. 12 shots to our name, 1 to theirs. We need to make the most of this game while we're on top. It's Maulida again threaded through. Got the pace. Tight angle. Was that saved? That was weird. It was a clear-cut chance. I think it was a really good block by the defender. The ball just kind of... You expected it to fly out of Maulida's feet, and it just kind of got scuffed in the ground, and I think it might have hit a player. We've won back the ball here again. Maulida to Memphis Depay, who can hit them. Fortunately, that time just over the crossbar, but at half-time, you'd have to say the pressure is mounting on Auxerre. Still going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. I'm also going to tell everyone you've got the ability to make a real difference. Lenglet is just deep in 4. He doesn't give a damn about whatever I have to say. Toussaint, still not 100% match fit, but he should be able to see out this game, I feel like. Really, I want to reserve our subs for in the final third. Maulida's on a 6.2, Depay's on a 6.5. It's been a little bit disappointing, but we're going to give these players just the first 15 minutes of the second half to maybe make an impact on this game before the likes of Gabels and potentially Moise Kean come on off the bench. We had a corner there that they dealt with well, but the highlight hasn't ended. Big ball over the top. Mendy reads it well. Goes back to Lopez. And now we look to build it forward. Aouar with the ball. Lays it out to Trincao. Eder Militao looking on the overlap, but goes back to Markovic. I don't mind this patient build-up play, just as long as we end up going somewhere with it. Maybe trying to get Auxerre to press high up the pitch. Poor clearance by Lopez, but he's bailed out a little bit by a good win. And now it's Memphis Depay with the ball down the left-hand side. Cuts inside. So good to the finish. You know what? I'm going to make some changes here. I'm going to bring in Moise Kean up top. And Depay, I don't want to single you out, mate, but I was underwhelmed by that run. Moise Kean, get on. 2 young players coming on as the striker and left winger. Going to keep faith in Trincao. I want to believe that he can come good for us. Going to demand more from the players, and on the stroke of the hour mark we're going to have a highlight here. And Nkunku, our former man, seems to be the linchpin in their midfield, that link-up man between the defence and the midfield for Auxerre. We're applying pressure high up the pitch here, maybe trying to force out an error. It's cleared away out onto this left-hand side. Perosevic with it, now with Burbano. Lays it inside to Arias. Good build-up play by Auxerre here, and they find space out with Varela out on the left-hand side. He crosses it and it's blocked well. Aouar now with some space to run into. Very confident run here. Whips it in. Gabels holds up nicely. Goes to Keane. Can he finish it? Of course he can. The 2 subs make an impact. That's what you want to see. Only Moise Keane's 2nd goal of the season, but I mean, I'm kind of glad he's not scored more, because that chicken dance celebration was questionable. But 2-1 here. Good to see Aouar being involved in the play. You know, a bit of a big call perhaps to start him ahead of Fekir. He gives it to Gabels, who lays it off to Moise Kean. And it's the 2 subs who have made the immediate impact here. Exactly what you want to see from your players. Still got to be a little bit cautious in this game. Only 20 minutes left and we're only a goal up. Trincao's been poor, so we'll take him off. And I'm going to bring on Malcolm. I'm going to keep Fekir on the bench. We'll see how the former Barcelona right-hand-sided player can do for us as he whips in a ball here. Not the best free kick of quality from deep there. Straight into the hands of Mitchell, who now might look to roll the ball out to Mapu. Cleared forward by them to Atal. I mean, I'm a little nervous here. Well, we look a little exposed. They've kind of got in behind our midfield. Arias now with it. Although, with crowding out like that, maybe there's nothing to worry about. Moise Kean wins it, and now we unleash the counter-attack. Gabels bring the ball forward. Could thread through Aouar. He does. I feel like Aouar's got to hit the target there. He hits it over the crossbar. I noticed they've subbed on a few regens. Are they good regens? He's very good, isn't he? Apparently we've already scouted him at some point. I guess it's probably through him playing for the national team. 5 minutes left. I'm kind of happy for us to cling on for this scoreline. You might be like, Jack, why aren't you changing things? Why aren't you going more defensive? They've had 3 shots all game. They're going to score on the counter-attack now just to make me look like a mug. But I just don't want to invite pressure onto ourselves. We've dominated the game. We've not had as much of the ball, but that's been fine. We've looked very solid, limited their opportunities. And I don't know. I hate switching to defensive in a game where you're kind of bossing it and they're having such limited chances, because I feel like you're only inviting pressure on yourself. We've got 20 seconds left here. I'm hoping that we're just going to see this out now. I mean, Aouar's bringing it forward. He wants a goal. Gabels wants a goal. Hits it over the crossbar, but that should see us to the end here. A very important 2-1 win. That was not a freebie. As I said, Auxerre quite a long way ahead of us in the league. Even with a win here, they're 8 points clear. We have now got a game in hand on them to close that gap a little further. But yeah, they are not an easy team to overcome. Good to see our more crowded midfield working wonders. I think I spotted there their goalkeeper got man of the match. So that might give you an indication of how that game played out, perhaps. So we've got Marseille and then Benfica. I almost don't want to change the team that much for this next game. I was quite happy with our performance there. I guess maybe start Gabels up top and Keane on the wing. Maybe Fekir inside forward. You know, use some fresh legs there. You can see our players are struggling a little bit for fitness here. Is Wallace back from suspension? He is. So with that in mind, we'll bring him in for Lenglet. All in all, though, I feel a lot less stressed than I did at the start of the season after 2 episodes where things were not looking good. I feel like we've steadied the ship. It's almost better to finish 4th in this way and qualify for the Champions League like this than be in the kind of title race and then fade away. Lenglet has revealed that he's now happy to stay at the stadium, at our stadium. He wants to withdraw his transfer request. Does this mean he's going to be happy now? Is he going to talk to me now? Can I praise his conduct? There we go. Look, his morale's good now. He's not unhappy anymore. We can set his squad status to key player. Apparently, Man City, well, other teams are interested. He's currently on £90,000 a week for the next 4 years. Would he negotiate a new contract? He's interested in negotiating a new contract. I'm curious. Does he want a rise? He does want a rise. I can't give you a rise, but I can give you an extra year on your contract. 90's all I have, mate. Look at that. New contract. We're laughing. The gang's getting back together. Sometimes, as I said, I'm surprised it took that long for Lenglet to kind of change his mind with things. I figured that he'd get happier sooner, but players and Football Manager change their mind quite a lot. If he signs a new contract as well, that should, force away any interest in him. Full set of fixtures going on here. I did notice Monaco are playing. I think PSG won 6-1. Durand, I think, was in goal for that game. So Durand didn't do us the favour that he needed to. Monaco won 4-1 as well. Monaco are doing really, really well this year. PSG is still the only team unbeaten. Suddenly the draw that we got against them seems like a pretty good result away from home. How did Jovic get on? He got a goal. How's Karamoh done on loan? We've not really monitored this guy. We signed him on a free transfer from Inter. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists in the Premier League for Middlesbrough. That's okay. Shadas got an assist in a good little win for Newcastle over Chelsea. St. Maximin doing his thing. Aneda, 1 goal and an assist for Sochaux. That is what I want to see, Tizzy. More appearances from you. Yeah, Durand, not the best performance in goal for him. He got -1 shot saved. How does that work? How do you get a minus... how does that work? They had 5 shots and 6. They scored 6. So he gets -1. That's a bug. That is a very funny bug. I guess they had a shot that hit the post and went in. So technically it wasn't on target. But Durand didn't make any other saves. So he gets -1 for goals saved because they scored 6 goals from 5 shots on target. That's very funny. Juventus, I've noticed slipping up a little bit. Where are they in Serie A? Let's have a look. They're down in 3rd. Wow, they are really off the pace of Napoli. I mean, if the Juventus job came up, would that be worth going for? Would that be bad? I've managed in Italy a few times and it's never gone well. But I'm now sat thinking, Juventus would be a nice holiday. Where is the Juventus job security? Very secure, apparently, at the moment, despite the fact they're struggling so much. What was their media prediction? 1st. I wonder how long that will maintain as good as it is. Good to see Diaz playing in their defence. Moise Kean continuing to develop. That's what I want to see. Donnarumma, scouting complete. We don't have £110 million to spend on him, nor £200,000 on the wages, but good to know he could be an option for us. This game against Marseille is a big one. The one against Benfica, I may play a rotated team in. Auger continues to develop. Auger's doing really well this year. Like, really, really well. I feel like every time we look at him, he's improving. If we just compare him to when he was 16, look at those improvements. Makes you appreciate how talented he was to begin with, but the major improvements to his physicals is the big thing for me, because physicals can be difficult to improve. And, the fact that they've improved so much and he's still only 17 kind of gives me hope that he could become a top draw player for us. Anyway, we asked our assistant to sort out some friendlies for over the Christmas period. He's done just that. Kenny Lala's not happy. I feel bad for Kenny Lala because he's constantly asking, I kind of want to leave, boss, and get first team football. And I'm sat there thinking, mate, I need you. You're like our plan D in both fullback positions. And we have come close to using him. He's been on the bench a few times. I don't recall him coming on. Maybe we could give him a game against Benfica. I'll probably forget now, but it crossed my mind. And that should be good enough for him. So yeah, we're at home for this game. Again, I'm tempted to play the 5-man midfield system. I can't really tell you why. I just feel like I like it. It just seems to work for us sometimes. PSG v Monaco is happening today. We would love a draw in that game. That would be the ideal result for us. Unfortunately, the ideal results very rarely happen. Is this the team I want to go with for today's game? Unfortunately, Ndombele is still out. Coman can be on the bench. I mean, we could start him, but I almost don't want to. You know what? I think we'll have him on the bench. He can be waiting in the wings. Trincao, you can come off for Gananon, I think. Do I want to make any other changes here? Aouar's not been that great in his last 5 games, but he's been kicking up such a fuss about lack of first-team football. I feel like I have to start him. Although I could just start him for the next game. I'll do that. Again, I'll probably forget. But we'll do that. And then, I'm kind of tempted to start Maulida on the right. Now, he is right-footed, I believe. You're right-footed, right? I'm not crazy. He is. So it's not going to be ideal for him cutting inside. But I don't really want to move Moise Kean, who is also right-footed and has been playing very, very well for us. Although he does have a reasonable left foot. But actually, he can't even play on the right wing naturally. So that's a bad idea. Am I happy with this team? I think I am. Is Fekir still being trained? No, he's not. Fekir, I feel like I've done it a few times. Set him to centre mid on advanced playmaker just for use in this system. Fekir is still unhappy as well. He's lost trust in the manager. I mean, I don't really rate that. Fekir's like the player who I think I might be more likely to sell out of everyone. The only issue is Gabels, Keane and Maulida are our kind of free striking options. And if they all start, the only striking option we then have is Memphis Depay. Coman's fitness really isn't there to play this game. You know what? We'll go with this team. Good to have Lenglet back in the team. Hopefully he signs a new contract and we can kind of end the saga, at least for now, with him. He's just too good for me to let go. At least right now. I'm really not a fan of kind of selling players in and around the first team in January. Especially if you know that they can do an okay job for you. It's always a risk, you know. I don't mind bringing in players in January, but when you're bringing them in to replace another player, they've just got to hit the ground running and just, you know, fill a slot immediately. And the pressure of signing a centre-back halfway through the season is just something I'm not a massive fan of. Anyway, Fekir, free kick. Lovely free kick for him. That's why he started this game. It's his 6th goal of the season. He's loving it. Over the wall. Creeps in at the near post. Could the keeper have done a little better? Quite possibly. But we're not going to complain. That's a really, really nice little goal there for us that can hopefully now set us on our way. Eases the nerves just a little bit to get a goal after 13 minutes. Been a fair few bookings flying in already. They've got Richarlison. Who else they got? They've got Strootman. Of course, he started there for Kier. Could he get a second free kick goal? Saved this time by Mandanda. I noticed they've got, I guess it's I'm going to say Bergwijn, but I know that's not how you say his name, the Dutch winger. So please tell me how to say his name, Dutch viewers. But they've got him out on the right. They've got Richarlison on the left. It's weird. They've got some players I recognise, but then equally they've got some players I just have no familiarity with whatsoever. The Kier whipping in the ball. Is that going to be given as a foul? I think it probably is. We're going to VAR, and I think it's going to disallow the goal. It is. Mandanda was pushed by Maulida. I mean, for a second I was going to be like, yes, the new corner tweaks, they've worked. No, not today. 1-0 at the break, though, seems to be how it's going to be. They've had one shot, 2 on target. 2 shots, 1 on target. They've had 39% of the ball. We have bullied them in this game so far. I do quite like our unconventional kind of 4-5-1. I feel like it works quite nicely. You could also describe it as a 4-3-3, but what I feel like it really does well is it just crowds out the midfield. And particularly with the talent that we have in the centre midfield department, I just feel like it works really well. We've got a few more bookings than I would like. Fortunately, it's in positions where we have just go-to options. I'm going to bring in Coman for Maulida on the right, and then I think we'll bring in Depay on... do I want to bring in Depay on the left? I'm going to bring in Aouar on the left. We'll play Aouar as the left inside forward. We'll keep Gabels on. I'm a little bit concerned about Toliso's booking, but we can do another sub, say, come the 20 minutes from time if we want to. Kind of want to just keep that last change in our back pocket just in case of any injuries. Just looking here, they've got a player on loan from Barcelona who looks very good as a centre mid. Let's get a scout report on him. I know we've already got one on him, but it's always worth just getting a second one. Whenever I see regens being subbed on or off, in the 4th season, you think, well, it must be a pretty good player for him to be in and around the first team. Oh, they're on the attack here. Bergwijn, oh my word, he's just scored a wonder goal. I mean, fair play. We've been on top in this game for spell after spell, but then this just flies in. Could Lopez have done better? No, he couldn't have. It's crashed in off the underside of the crossbar. We have a set piece here. I was about to do some changes, but we'll see what Fekir can do. He hits it just wide of the mark. One sub left. I'm going to take off Tolisso and I'm going to bring in Lucas Romero. And then in terms of this tactic, we're going to go more attacking, more direct. Not to centre backs either. Let's try and get the ball forward just a little bit quicker. Demand more from the players as well. We've got 4 minutes to try and find something in this game. That wonder goal has really been a sucker punch. Maybe a chance here though. Coman, I think it's offside. I think this is offside. It could be a second disallowed goal. Is it going to count? It's not. It was offside. I thought at first, it's not even close. Kingsley. Got to learn to stay onside. And now time just trickles away. 2 goals disallowed for us. 1 offside. Can't really argue with it. The other, a foul on the keeper. Was it a foul on the keeper? I'm not sure. We're going to draw this game, I think, 1-1, barring a very late goal here. When you consider the nature of the goal they've scored against us, much like the PSG game, it feels like a game that on another day we win. But just a moment of brilliance, a flash. It's just absolutely destroyed us. The real hope now is the fact that maybe, just maybe, this game is a draw. We really need Monaco and PSG both to drop points here. A draw is what we need. Is a draw what we're going to get? Da-da-da-da. That's the suspenseful build-up music. Monaco just beat them 6-1. I mean, what a Monaco had for breakfast this year. We are so far off the pace right now. So far off it. Even off Auxerre. We're going to be fighting for 3rd this year, it feels like. Aneda got another goal for Socio. That's good to see. We now go into a game against Benfica, knowing that we can kind of rest the team a little bit. I think we'll start Aouar for today's game. As I said, he's been complaining about lack of first-team football. The good news is that here we can actually afford to rotate the team quite a little bit. So I think we might even start Auger for today's game. Malcolm can come on the left. We'll play Depay as a striker. Try something different. We've got nothing really to lose in this specific match. Moreno can come in on the left. Romero can come in on the right. Markovic can play. Kanate is not going to be fully fit, so we'll play Markovic, I think, with Lenglet there. Gnanon can come in for Toussaint. I mean, inevitably now we'll get absolutely spanked, just with a few minor tweaks. But I feel like we're at a point in the year where we can afford to do this. Just looking at the centre mid department, we might actually end up starting Kenny Lala here. In fact, we will. He's well happy. Look at him. He looks delighted. Am I happy with this bench? You know what? I think I am. Are there any players that are going to need rests going into this game? Lenglet, I guess, is the only one. Just because he's going to be playing back-to-back games. But this game against Benfica, we already know we're through. Of course, a win here would guarantee us top spot in the group, which would be nice. It would theoretically give us an easier draw. Given the board's expectation is to reach the quarter-final of the Champions League, they are expecting us to win at least one knockout round over 2 legs. So giving ourselves the best possible chance of doing that by topping the group would be good. But equally, I would like to rotate things around. Freitas continuing to develop at Malaga. I feel like some of the loans we're doing have been particularly successful, which is good to see. Can Auxerre drop some points here? That would be pretty big for us if they could. No, they're going to beat Nice 3-0. You had one job, Nice. One job. Dijon are not far off us behind, but they do have, they have played a game more than us. Keita has scored 2 goals for Auxerre. I mean, he does not look like a player who should have 7 goals in 16, but apparently he's just tearing up the league. I'm conflicted, because on the one hand he's our own player who seems like he's destinying us. What is the term I'm looking for? Basically, he is setting our destiny to finish 4th. What's the word? It's not destined. He's not destined us. I don't know. Help me. What is the word for someone settling your destiny? Answers on a postcard. I don't know how to English anymore. Let's have a look here. We can just see how all the different leagues are going. So Real Madrid are top of the La Liga table. Liverpool currently top of the Premier League, but by a tight margin. Monaco, after that emphatic win, PSG's first defeat of the season, sit top of the pile. In the Championship, Huddersfield and Cardiff up there. Dortmund currently leading over Bayern, with Bayer in 3rd. And in Italy, Napoli currently running away with the title after 15 games. Roma way off the pace, down in 6th. And Inter actually shockingly in 8th. I do fancy a trip to Serie A at some point. I feel like Serie A is a league that I've managed in twice in Football Manager ever, and I've never done well. I did it once with AC Milan, and it just went to crap. And then I did it again. Can you intervene here and just get Lala to stop complaining? Thank you. And the other time I did it was in Football Manager 2014, where we did a Fiorentina stream save, and I got sacked. And after I got sacked, I went to Wolverhampton Wanderers, who were top of League One and had just lost Kenny Jackett, their manager at the time, to a Championship side. And we got Wolves back-to-back promotions and then won the Premier League, I think in like 6 seasons, all streamed. It was like during the beta of FM14, and I was at university, no responsibilities in life. And I think we played through like a season every single day. It was like some of the most fun I've ever had. I have a dream that if there was ever a chance, ever an opportunity where I could do Football Manager full time in terms of streaming and YouTube and stuff, like every beta I would love to just do a save like that, where for like the 2-week beta that Football Manager's out, we just play for like 16 hours a day and just play through season after season. It was so much fun. I go through phases where I wish I could do that again. Obviously, those of you who were watching on Twitch last summer, you'll know that we did the the Lincoln save, which was kind of a similar vein to that. The issue really is the fact that I get burnt out if I stream so much, just because I'm doing it around my main job as well. I work 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, and sometimes there's overtime required because it's just the nature of the kind of work that I do. But it does mean that sometimes it's like I just don't have the energy or the willpower to like record a video or hit stream. People ask, Jack, why don't you stream more? Streaming is blooming exhausting, and I kind of have to pick, do I want to stream or do I want to do videos? And I know I'm going to disappoint people no matter which I choose. I feel like doing YouTube videos definitely kind of fits just into my schedule a little bit better. In terms of with streaming, I feel like you have to be consistent, you have to have a schedule. And there's just some days where I get in and I go, man, I am exhausted today. I just can't do a video. It's not going to be a good video if I sit down and force myself to do one. So I can kind of take the day off. I feel like with streaming, like you have to have a slightly different mentality, I guess. It's a tricky one, though. It's a tricky one for sure, because I really enjoy streaming. I know there's lots of you guys who probably watch this, and it's how you get your fix of my old streams. And I feel like with Lyon Live, I love Lyon Live because it's like streaming, except it's like a streaming VOD, but without the downsides of a streaming VOD. And I know a lot of people have gone, Jack, why don't you just live stream Lyon? You kind of lose a little bit as a viewer watching, like, you know, a VOD back when you can't be part of the chat. The whole thing with streaming is that live interaction element, and you just kind of lose that with VODs. Anyway, let's make some changes here. I'm going to bring in Fekir. I'm going to bring in Gabels up top as well. Do I want to bring in Coman for Awar? You know what? I think I do. Trying something a bit different here with Coman on the left and Fekir on the right and Gabels up front. Obviously, Fekir being left-footed is a play we've never really considered for the right inside forward role, but the more I think about it, the more it's kind of like, yeah, that does actually make sense. Still 0-0 here after 73 minutes. We're looking for the breakthrough. Maybe Moreno can be the man to bring it for us. Whips in Gabel's free header just over the crossbar. Would have loved him to have hit the target with that one. Unfortunately, his effort just over the crossbar. I think the keeper had it covered. Benfica breathe a sigh of relief. We've had a lot of bookings in this game. I feel like there's a red card on the horizon if we're not careful. Gabel's wins the ball high up the pitch. That is an awful finish. And it's probably just an indicator of how low his confidence is. 2 minutes left. Let's go attacking. It's going to finish 0-0 here. I didn't spot how the other result in our group is going, but if that also finished as a draw, we would still finish top of the group by virtue of head-to-head with Valencia. I mean, Benfica had one shot and it wasn't on target. They've just defended really well. Valencia did win, so unfortunately we are going to be second in our group. We were all over them in that game, though. I'm just surprised we didn't create more, unfortunately. Still, we receive a decent chunk of money for making it through. Gravenberch, playing for Napoli, came on off the bench. Let's have a quick look at the Champions League groups. Were there any big upsets? I guess Celtic getting through ahead of Ajax would probably be considered an upset. Napoli and Liverpool got through in Group C. PSG and Inter. Barcelona missing out with only 2 wins is probably the biggest shock of them all. They got 2 wins, one against Salzburg, one against Inter. That is a shocking result, actually. Still a few of the other groups still going on. Milan and Dortmund battling it out. Monaco and Atleti getting through. Juventus could miss out in their group if they were to slip up in their next game. Bordeaux, bottom of that group. We'll be hoping for the sake of France that they can get into the Europa League by finishing 3rd. Markovic continuing to develop. Look at that improvement. That's what you want to see. Let's just go through this Wednesday set of games so we can have a look at the completed group stage. Interesting to note there, obviously, Aneda playing alongside another regen in Diallo for Sochaux, a player who, he looks okay for them. He doesn't look great. I'm surprised he's played as many games as he has. We've also got Muller here, who's on loan from Nice. He looks okay at 17. Also got another regen at left back. Apparently Sochaux just love their regens. Of course, a club known for their ability to develop young players, so maybe it's not that surprising. Juventus beat Shakhtar 5-4. Wow, that is a mad result, and I think that does actually mean that Juventus leapfrog Shakhtar in the Champions League for that spot to get through to the knockout round. Indeed it does. I don't feel like there's too many major upsets in the Champions League. I think the big one is probably Barca missing out. Maybe Dortmund missing out as well, although they were in a bit of a group of death. Tottenham, to win all 6 games in their group stage in a group with Milan, Dortmund and Bruges is a really good achievement. Can't knock them for that. Anyway, Sochaux is going to be the game that we start next episode with. Of course, as I mentioned, it's a team that I have a bit of a relationship with. It's a team that I have a soft spot for. They're going to have Tizzy potentially playing against us. We'll hope that he doesn't come back to haunt us too much. More reports on Auger, who continues to improve. I mean, just every week. Every week, apparently, he's a god. Petrenko has got the flu. Right, go home and recover. Your 3rd choice keeper. You don't have to stick around in order to get fit. So next episode, I think we'll have the games against Dijon, Toulouse and Rennes. And then we have a little bit of a break over Christmas into the start of the January transfer window for the winter break. So yeah, the next couple of episodes, we need some good results. We've got a few too many draws as of late. At this point, I think we have to accept we're out of the title race. I feel like we were out of the title race when we lost 3 games and drew 1 in our first 5. Genuinely, like, there are some seasons where that many points dropped in Ligue 1 is just already going to resign you to just not being able to win the league. And I feel like that is very much the case here. We are 14 points behind Monaco, coming up to the halfway point. It's pretty much mission improbable at this moment in time. I want to make sure we finish ahead of Auxerre and guarantee ourselves Champions League football. Of course, we are still in every domestic competition that we started in. And to make it through to the Champions League knockout stages is good. We'll hope to, recapture some of the heroics from a couple of years ago, I guess, and try and go on a really good run in that competition. But anyway, folks, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. Hopefully you have enjoyed as always. If you have, do drop a like on the video. I'll see you guys again soon. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.